The NFT market is in trouble. Here's why. The NFT market is in trouble and some believe it is dead. The most recent crash has been attributed to Tether and Bitfinex. Some people believe that it's only a minor setback, while others see it as an indication of more problems to come. Regardless of what you believe, it's important to understand what's happening in the market and why it's happening. Only then can you make an informed decision about whether to invest or not. Welcome to NFT Godly. In this channel, we help crypto enthusiasts such as yourself learn more about crypto so they can make better investment decisions without taking on too much risk. We do this through these videos, so be sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications for future uploads. The NFT market has been on a roller coaster ride over the past few weeks, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Just when it looked like the market was starting to recover, it took another nosedive. What's going on? Some people are blaming the recent crash on Tether and Bitfinex. Tether is a cryptocurrency that is supposed to be pegged to the US dollar. However, there have been concerns that Tether is not actually backed by the US dollar and that it is being used to artificially prop up the price of Bitcoin. Bitfinex is an exchange that has been accused of using Tether to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. Others believe that the recent crash is just a minor setback and that the market will eventually recover. They point to the fact that the NFT market is still in its early stages and that there will inevitably be some bumps along the way. Whichever side you may believe, there is no doubt that the market has taken a turn for the worse in recent weeks. The question now is whether this is just a temporary setback or a sign of more serious problems to come. The current state of the NFT market. So what is the current state of the NFT market? According to a report by nonfungible.com, the NFT market grew from $2 million in 2019 to $250 million in 2020, with a total of $338 million worth of NFTs sold in 2020. The report also found that the average transaction value grew from $41 in 2019 to $3,117 in 2020. So far in 2021, over $100 million worth of NFTs have been sold, indicating that the market is still going strong. The most popular category of NFT is digital art, which made up 36% of all sales in 2020. However, other categories such as gaming, music, and fashion are also starting to gain traction. But the market is definitely in a state of flux right now. The recent crash has caused a lot of investors to lose faith in the market, and it's unclear whether it will recover anytime soon. NFT sales dropped to a record low of nearly 90% in the week leading up to May 11, 2021, and only $19 million worth of NFTs changed hands over that period compared with an average weekly volume that spans almost 2 months. Proto's investigation discovered that some major players are manipulating prices through large orders placed on exchanges like Coinbase Pro or Binance, while also having significant amounts staked by themselves according to the research team's findings. The NFT market is unstable and prone to crashing. There is a lot of speculation going on in the market, which can lead to rapid price fluctuations. The market is still relatively new, and there is a lot of uncertainty about the long-term prospects of NFTs. Many of the projects in the NFT space are still in development, which means that they are not yet generating any real revenue. This makes them very vulnerable to price swings. How to protect your assets from a market crash. There are a few things that you can do to protect your assets from a market crash. The most important thing is to diversify your portfolio so that you are not invested too heavily in any one asset. You should also keep an eye on the news and make sure that you are aware of any major developments that could have an impact on the market. Finally, it is important to stay calm and not panic during a market downturn. Remember that markets always recover over time, so there is no need to sell your assets at a loss just because the market is down. What to do when the crash happens? Some people are suggesting that the best way to deal with the current market crash is to hold onto your NFTs and wait for the market to rebound. Others believe that it may be time to sell off your assets and cut your losses. No one can say for sure what the best course of action is, but it is important to stay informed and make choices that are best suited for you. Predictions for the future of NFTs. It's hard to say exactly where the NFT market is headed, but there are a few things that seem likely. First, it's possible that we'll see a consolidation of the market, with a few large players dominating. Second, it's likely that we'll see more use cases for NFTs outside of gaming and speculation. Finally, it's possible that the current crash is only a temporary setback, and the NFT market will continue to grow in the future. One of the most exciting potential applications for NFTs is their ability to democratize art. Currently, it's extremely difficult for artists to get their work seen by a large audience, but with NFTs, anyone can create and distribute their own art. This could lead to a new era of creativity and experimentation in the art world. Another exciting potential application for NFTs is the emergence of decentralized marketplaces. These marketplaces would allow buyers and sellers to interact without the need for a third party. This would revolutionize the way that we buy and sell goods and services online. NFTs also have the ability to enable micropayments. With traditional payment methods, it's not feasible to make payments for very small amounts of money. However, with NFTs, it's possible to make payments as small as a fraction of a penny. This could lead to a new era of microtransactions and could have a huge impact on the way we use the internet. NFT market is in trouble because of a few reasons: low user base, lack of use cases, and scams. The NFT market will recover once there are more use cases and the problem with scams is fixed. In the meantime, it's important to be careful when investing in NFTs. It's still too early to tell whether or not the NFT market will succeed in the long run, but there are definitely some issues that need to be addressed before it can become truly mainstream. Be sure to do your research before investing any money into this space and stay alert for any potential scams. We'll continue to monitor the situation and update you as things progress. Thanks for watching.